In Project 2, we're going to take a look at how we can apply custom bullets to a vertical list within our document. And the picture bullets that they describe, I'm not real sure I would call them picture bullets. They aren't pictures of anything except circles or squares and triangles, different things like that. They are colored, but as far as what we think of typically as a picture, those aren't necessarily what they are. They're more like shapes. But we also have other types of bullets that we can use that actually have more of a visual appeal through the symbols. And so we'll show you both of those ways in Project 2 of how to apply those and insert those within a list. In Project 2, they do ask that we open up the TTS Hawaii document, and I already have that up. They do have that saved as Word Level 2 Chapter 1 Project 2 TTS Hawaii. I have not done that, but in order to make a backup of it, probably should be saved under that new name. We're going to look at two different areas in this document. The first area is the rainy day activities, and we are going to apply what they call picture bullets to the left of each one of these items, these sections. So to apply a bulleted item, whether it be numbers or symbols or whatever, you again need to select that area first. And then the bulleted items, click on the bullet button, the drop down arrow to the right of that. We're going to go into Define New Bullet. And that will take us into the Define New Bullet dialog box. And from there, we are going to go to the Picture button. And that'll bring up our dialog box where we can choose what they call picture bullets. So we'll give it just a minute here. And I've added some other pictures that I've imported those in. That's why that looks a little different than what we see in the book. But you'll see here we've got squares, all different colors, squares, circles, lots of different splats. But the one that they want us to use is a green circle. So I'll see if I can find that. This will be close enough, I think. Just click on that. You can either double click or click OK. That'll take us into the Define New Bullet dialog box, and at this point we're going to leave everything at default there. Just click on OK, and that will then apply these green circles, what they call picture bullets, to the left of each one of those areas. Okay, so that's picture bullets, and then we're going to scroll down just a little bit here to the next section, and all these items again that are preceding the colon, we're going to apply bullets to those. There should be 6 paragraphs, 6 different sites that they talk about. So again, we're going to select those sites. Should be 6 of them. This time we are going to apply a flower, which will look like a flower, but we're going to get that from the symbols dialog box. So again, same steps. We're going to go up to the bullet drop-down menu. Still going to go into Define New Bullet. This time in the bullet character, we are going to click on the symbol button. And then there are a lot of different types of font items that we can choose. The ones that they want us to choose, though, is wingdings, webdings, wingdings 2, 3, 4. All those have more of a pictorial type symbol that you can choose. And the one they want us to choose for this is the little flower here. And so we'll go ahead and choose that. And then we're going to format it so that it has a little bit of color to it. And to do that, we're going to go ahead and choose the font button on the right hand side. We'll increase the font of that to 14. And then they also want us to apply a color to it. And I don't know how appropriate this color is, but we'll choose the green color that they suggest, which is bright green accent 4. Kind of a turquoise, bright green accent 4. Darker 25%. So that's down in here probably. Okay, bright green accent 4, darker 25%. Okay, so we'll get that green, and then I'll click OK out of this. It takes you back to the Define New Bullet. You can see the updated changes there. They should be a little bit larger and in color. So click OK to that. And now you can see that they've added the flowers to the left of those areas. Okay, and then back in what we saw in Project 1, we can remove those bullets from our list. If you go back into the drop-down area, in the bullet library, you'll see both of those in there. And if we just right-click on those and choose Remove, that will take out the flower. We can do the same thing for the green circle there, I can right click and choose remove. Okay. In project 3, we'll take a look at applying a multi-list numbering to a list of items. And if you'll look at the bottom of page 13, you can see the dialog box for that. And then we're going to actually open up a document called JS List that has a listing of items. If I can get that to come up, that have already been created for us, and then we'll just apply we'll apply the multi-level list to the items already keyed in for us. So they've saved us some time by already having the information keyed. Again, they do want us to save it as Word Level 2 Chapter 1 Project 3 JS List, but I'm going to forgo that. But if we want to apply again numbered list or bulleted items, we do need to select the areas that we want to apply that information or that list to. So I'm going to select all the text here. It's been keyed in for us. And I want you to notice too here, they've used the tab settings. Notice there's a little tab there. They've indented by using the tab key on each one of those. So we'll select these items. And then once those are selected, we'll use the multi-list level button, which is in the paragraph group. And the style that they want us to use for this one is the middle one here. And I'll move up here, and you can see now that they've applied, or it has been applied, the varying levels for this list. Now we can also customize, like we did previously, to the numbered list. We can also customize the multi-level list as well. And so we're going to do that with the current list that we have here, and they actually take you through the steps of doing this in Project 3B. So I have the item selected, and then to modify that existing list or to further customize it, we're going to go back into the multi-list level drop-down box. I make sure, I want to point this out to you too, this button is selected because we've applied a numbered list. Even though we chose multi-level list, when it's turned on, that button is active. So I don't want you to get confused here. We will go back into the multi-level list drop-down arrow, and at the very bottom of that, you're not going to be able to see it, but it'll look similar to what you see on page 14. At the bottom, define new multi-level list. You'll get the dialog box that's similar to what you see on page 14. And within that, we can specify and customize every level of this list. And so we're going to choose the first level first, and rather than having the numbers as our format, we're going to choose the capital letter style. So we'll choose that, and rather than having a left parenthesis, we're going to take that off and put a period following the letter. And then in addition to that, the aligned at, we want to change that so that it's 0.3. And you could type this in actually too, rather than using your spin boxes. And then also the text indent is going to be at 0.6. And again, I'm just going to type that in, and you'll see it changing here at the top. But notice you can customize these to your liking. And then for the second level, which represents the A's, if you go to the second level, rather than using the A lowercase letters, we're going to switch that to numbers. And again, rather than the parenthesis, we're going to put a period. And the aligned at will be at 0.6 this time. The indent, text indent, will be at 0.9. Okay. And then the third level, rather than having the little tiny i's, they want to have the lowercase letters. And they're going to keep the parenthesis on those letters. We'll keep that parenthesis there rather than replacing it with a period. Okay. And then the text indent is going to be at 1.2. The aligned at is going to be at 0.9. And I think we've made changes now to all three levels. We've customized them to various numbers and characters. So at that point we can click OK. Notice all the updates that affect each one of the levels. And then they're just going to do some editing here. We're going to choose the competency statements on a resume, and we're going to delete that out. Now notice when we delete it out, it'll automatically I'm going to say number, but it puts in the appropriate characters. Okay. Then we're going to add another piece of information under this resume language. Click right after cliches. I'm going to press enter. Notice it automatically puts in the C there, and we'll put in technical language. And then at the end of the document, we're going to add another area that will be able to apply a multi-level list. So I'm going to press Control N to get to the very bottom, and then we're going to press enter 5 times. Notice by doing that, it took us to different levels, but eventually it turned off our multi-level list. And then we're going to type in the title, typing or preparing your resume. I'll press enter. Then we're going to type in what you see at the top of page 17 in figure 1.4, where it has resume examples, resume styles, chronological. We'll type those in using the multi-level list. So to do that, go back up to the multi-level list button, and we should have in our current list the same custom listing that we just prepared. So we'll click on that. That'll bring up the A, and then we'll type in resume examples, maybe. And then I'm going to press the enter key, and I need to go down to resume styles, so I'm going to press the tab key. Notice it puts in the 1 for me. Press enter again, and then we have 3 different types of resume styles. Chronological, I'm going to press enter, functional, pressing enter again, and hybrid. Now to get back up a level, to get to a 2 is what we need. I'm going to press enter, and that'll give me a D, and then shift tab will take me back up a level so that I can type in determining your resume style. And then I'll press enter, and then we need to get back up to the level with resume examples. I'm going to press shift tab, and that'll give me a B, parts of a resume. Again, tab down to layout. I'll press enter, and then we're going to go back to heading styles. So I'm going to press the tab key, heading styles, press enter, sections, press enter again, white space, press enter. That gives me a D, but I need to go back up a level for fonts, and then the third one will be bullet points. And that concludes all the text that you see at the top of page 17. And then just one quick thing that they want us to do for the title, the preparing your resume, they want us to apply the heading 1 style. Okay, so that should follow what we have at the top. You have the same consistency among each one of the multi-level lists and their headings.